All right, Frankie, look at me. Frankie, I'm trading you in for a creepy little doll. What do you think? Frankie, what do you think? What are you looking at? Yeah, I'm trading you in for a creepy little doll. Ready to take a look? All right, let's take a look. Okay, so here is my prototype, okay? It would be a nurse's station, maybe a filing cabinet or what have you. Basically, an empty box. A couple of thoughts that I have here. This is Julie's doll that she had as a kid. And the thing looks relatively empty, right? And I had this little epiphany. While we can't have shelves in there showing that it's empty, because if you do that, you start seeing this. It doubles. So the shelves cannot go in, but we could just have the front facade of shelves. And if we have this part up here a little bit lower, this stuff up here would not be seen to the audience if they're looking at it straight on. It would just look like an empty box, which of course we all know at this point is not. Okay, now this doll would be smaller. All right, here it is. Here's the inside of the box. All right, let's move this. All right, there it is. And my thought is that the doll, now this is 24 inches high or 22 inches high. Now, at this point, the doll almost in a standing position could be here on standby, ready to come up on a track system like this. All right, but we could make this whole thing smaller than this is, because the feet, if put into a seating position, look at how far down the doll can rest. So now let's just assume that this is the top of the box right here. Well, now all of a sudden this box can probably shrink by 30 or 40%. I don't have the doll to experiment with, but if I did, I would, first thing I would do is see how easily this thing could go into a sitting position, because the idea is that, and I've got one of these ball bearing tracks right here. This doll would be seated on a platform that would be like sitting here, and that platform would come up here, and it would become this right here when it's in the seated position. So in other words, it would come up flush and become part. I believe that we can have, my prototype's already falling apart here. We can have these flaps like this, shut, all right? And of course, the seams would be hidden, because Carl is a master of distressing things, and you just need to, give this a pattern of some sort, or even just lines, and then that would disappear. This could be open probably, well, actually, it could be open about this much right here, okay? And these doors would be open, and maybe there's two sets of doors. Maybe it's this set and then one other set, and perhaps the cut is right here. So that the idea is that when that doll, basically it's a solenoid, just a 12-volt solenoid that releases a pin that's holding that doll down. And then you can have like a pulley going over here to a counterweight that would drop down here. Or it could be spring-loaded, or you could have the tension of a bungee cord. You could have a bungee attached right here, down in the bottom, going up here to a pulley, and then right here. And then you'd have a steel cable or something going from here to here to here. And so you got a lot of tension ready to go. And then this thing comes up on this track. All right, via your favorite method. This is just an example. Obviously, this one ends up being too long, so that's not necessarily an ideal example. But the idea is that this doll is sitting on a platform that comes up and fills in the gap here. All right? So imagine we have this part open. Well, this is where the slates are, all right? Or maybe a book, or whatever. So I walk the lady up here and I say, we got some slates here, and I hand her the top one and I say, I want you to hold that there. All right. And then I come forward with and then her attention is in front of here. So then I can pick up the other one. This is empty. This remains open. Nobody knows that. Who cares? All right. And so then that doll comes up and these doors would open and close around her as she comes up like this, just like that, right? And now this is what she's riding on, and it can come up and match the area around it, flush, distressed, seams go away. And nobody's going to care because all they're going to notice is that now there's a doll sitting right here. And this is where she sits right now is about right up to my chest level. And I'm 5'11", and a lot of these women are going to be shorter than me. So, Rick, you're concerned about the height. If you look at the height, I've got it on a piece of furniture here. I think that we could build it into maybe a little desk, like you were saying, a nurse's station or something. By the way, look, her legs dangle down in front of what looks like an empty box. And you may not be able to see in there, but I will tell you that you can actually see the mirror there. It looks empty. It looks empty. And I think it's going to startle people. And like I said, if it goes down in the sitting position, this box doesn't have to be as wide. It can look like just a real skinny file cabinet. And there could maybe be a little nurse's desk that could fold down on the side here. And then we can actually just put legs to whatever length we want them to be. And at the moment, this thing is about 19 inches off the floor. So if it was 19, 20 inches, depending on, I guess overall the height needs to be, let me pause this for a second, 42 inches high is about the optimal length if she's here. And keep in mind, that's a short doll. The doll you're going to send me is probably going to be maybe, quite a bit higher. So yeah, she just disappeared. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit, another Outlaw Effects miracle. So I'm going to keep this prototype up, and I will be able to manipulate it and continue to work through it. I wanted to give you guys a heads up as far as what I'm thinking about now, and this is just where the conversation with Carl starts. So give me a call, and let's pick this up where we left off, or from this point. Thanks.